Hello, Catherine, Luz, Consuelo, Christine, Eleonora, Rebecca, Tricia, Kayla, Alyssa, Alicia, and Jasmine. If I mispronounced any of your names, please correct me. But welcome to Introduction to Project Management in the fall of 2021. This course is a little bit different than many standard Introduction to Project Management classes. A lot of project management classes focus on just giving you knowledge about the processes, giving you information about the vocabulary, giving you formulas that you might use as a project manager. It's a lot of information, and it's good information, it's helpful information, but it's a little bit detached from a specific project or a specific circumstance. It's kind of the general theoretical knowledge, which is a good thing, and you need that in order to be a project manager. And you need all that information in order to get one of the certifications from the Project Management Institute. If you wanted to get a certified associate of project management or your project management professional credential, all that is very important. But BayPath has chosen to take a little bit of a different approach. During the first week, we will spend much of our time, we'll basically spend all of our time focused on learning that material, learning some of the key processes, learning what the vocabulary, what is project management, how does it work, what do project managers do. That's where we need to start. But then what we'll do is we will actually do a project. I mean, not in real life, we're not going to produce anything, we're not going to produce goods or services, but we will go through the project management process and spend most of our time working on a project management plan. The course is focused on the 5 processes of project management. So the first process is initiating, getting the project started. So during week 2, you'll have the opportunity to write a project charter, which is basically a project proposal. This is how we plan to do this project. This is basically how much it'll cost. This is an estimate of how long it's going to take. These are the people who are stakeholders. And as part of that process, you'll also do a stakeholder analysis. Who are the people that this project affects? What are their interests? What ability do they have to affect the project for good or for not so good? And then we'll dive in week 3 to the planning process. What's the scope of the project? In other words, what are the boundaries of the project? How are we going to do this? What's included and what's not included? And then the project we're going to be doing is a project for a small ebook company, Global Green Books, and they have a new project of doing custom textbooks for a local university. And you are somebody that has some project management knowledge. You've met the people that run Global Green Books, and they've said, oh, well, hey, maybe project management would actually help us to be able to do this. Would you be willing to take on this project? And so you take it on, and you act like a project manager. You write a charter. You do a stakeholder analysis. And then once the sponsor of the project says, okay, that sounds pretty good, then you start to write a project management plan. You define the scope. You define the schedule. You define the resources, the budget. You analyze the risks, analyze the possible opportunities, and you have a plan for addressing those risks. You have a plan for addressing those opportunities. You have a plan for the schedule and for what you do if you have delays. You have a plan for monitoring the stakeholders and making sure the stakeholders get the information that they need and are able to contribute to the project if they need to, or at least that they won't interfere in the project because they're getting the information that they need. And then the executing process, actually implementing the process, getting the work done. We'll take a look at that. And finally, in week 6, monitoring and controlling, which is making sure that things are functioning well, monitoring the budget, monitoring the schedule, controlling the budget, keeping the project running along smoothly the way it's supposed to. And then the last process is the closing process. It's when you shut down the project, because a project, one of the things about a project is distinct from operations, which are ongoing things in your business that always happen. A project has a beginning and an end. So at Global Green Books, they're always making ebooks, right? They're making all kinds of ebooks. But this project of making textbooks for the university, it has a beginning, it's going to start, and then it's going to end, because those ebooks need to be delivered before the semester starts at the university. So it's a time-limited activity, has a beginning and an end to accomplish a specific purpose. That's what a project is. And so at the close of a project, you make sure that everybody is satisfied, that basically that all your bills are paid, that all your deliverables are delivered to the people that need to get them. And then you do an analysis of how the project went. What went well? What didn't go well? What can we do better next time? What did we learn about our processes so that we can improve? So there's a closing is one of the 5 processes of project management, so that you could learn to do better on the next project. And we'll also talk a little bit about team building, which again is one of these things that would flow throughout the processes of project management. Throughout the whole project, you need to have your team working together. So I'm really looking forward to this, and if there is any way that I can be helpful to you, please contact me. You can reach out to me through Canvas, email, you can call me, you can text me. And in this particular course, I would say don't hesitate to reach out to me with a phone call or a text, because the way this course is designed, you're doing a project. And although when you do a project, you have all kinds of information on hand about how the project is going to go, who the vendors are, what the resources are, what the budget could be, what the risks are, who the stakeholders are. You have a lot of that information in hand, but sometimes a question comes up that you don't have an answer to. And that may well happen in this class. You may be working through the project and say, well, what about this? And you're looking through the case studies, you're looking through the information, you're doing your research, and you're having a hard time figuring out what the answer to your question is. Reach out to me. That's why I'm here. And if you were a real project manager, you would reach out to your sponsor, or you would reach out to one of your stakeholders if you had a very important question and you needed an answer and you didn't have it in the resources that were on hand. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. And of course, don't hesitate to reach out to me if I can be helpful in any way. So again, I'm looking forward to this time with you. And here we go.